Quickstep. The early game Ash of War, which you've probably used once and thought, why wouldn't I just roll and keep my Ash of War slot and FP for something else? Indeed, Quickstep costs 3 FP, whereas the roll costs 0. It isn't easy to use, especially since most players are used to the roll, and it is slightly different. But it has gotten some nerfs in patch 1.06, and this skill has a learning curve. Its efficiency isn't spotted at first glance since it's not one of those overpowered Ashes of War that trivializes the game, but let me tell you why this simple dash might actually be the single most underrated Ash of War in the game. Chapter 1: The Mechanics and Equip Load. Obviously, Quickstep serves as a dodge, a very good one in fact. It gives you 15% more invisibility time than a regular roll. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it can save your life in some cases. There are 4 different animations, each with their own properties depending on the direction held when you input the skill. The Quickstep in or Quickstep without inputting a direction has a very slightly lower invisibility time, and attacking after will do a rolling / crouching attack. Quickstepping backwards is like the regular backstep at invincibility. That's for you, Dark Souls 2 fanboys. Attacking will do the running attack, useful for some sweet and stylish retaliations. The best parts are the side steps, since they allow you to curve around your opponents, getting directly to their back, where they are often defenseless, allowing for a backstab or simply to get out of a troublesome combo. In this Margit fight, as you can see, I'm able to easily avoid most of his hardest attacks with one quick step by going behind him. Attacking after this will do a running attack or a backstab, if you are in the right place. If you spam the button and do a quick step right after one, it will be slightly less efficient, and same for all the consecutives after. If you are on light load, your quick step will be more efficient because of the longer travel distance, allowing you to reach the back of opponents even more easily, but the difference is pretty small, so I wouldn't advise going for it. When heavy loaded or overloaded, you will still do the regular quick steps without any downsides. This also works with the Iron Jar Aromatic and in deep swamps that slows your movement, but I'll talk more about it in the how to build around section. Do not use it without FP, since you will most certainly get hit. Just roll instead. So you need to keep an eye on your FP bar, the same you do it for your stamina bar, and having a blue flask might prove useful. Since most enemies are right-handed, it is generally easier to avoid attacks by doing quick step to the left. I won't go into very specific details about frame data, but I will link a page about it in the description. Button, not when you press it. That's because the game checks if you want to run or roll, and if you let go, you will roll. If you hold, you will run. Quickstep on the other hand comes out instantaneously. This means that you can technically react faster to attacks with a quickstep than with a roll. As you can see on screen, there's a distance at which I can avoid the ballista shots on reaction with a quickstep, but not with a roll. As Souls player, we're used to the delayed roll. That quickstep reactiveness sometimes throws us off, meaning we dodge a bit earlier because of it, not using the increased invincibility frame to its fullest potential. Another even bigger advantage of quickstep over a roll is its practicality when running. To run in this game, you hold the roll button, but this means that to dodge when running, you need to release the button, press it, and release it again, and that takes a lot of time in a game where some attacks are pretty fast. There are times where I would run away to heal and I would get hit when running backwards because I was unable to dodge in time. With Quickstep, it's a problem of the past. You can now dodge instantaneously when running, and that is very useful for those who like to run in combat or when traversing an area while being shot, such as Stormvale Castle main entrance. Lastly, Quickstep can sometimes allow you to escape in between a supposedly guaranteed combo from an opponent if you mash the button. For example, this enemy attack should guarantee me getting hit by the follow-up, but not if I'm spamming Quickstep. This is especially useful in PvP. Chapter 3: Backstabbing. Buffering R1 after a Quickstep will always do a backstab. You don't need to wait a bit as if you were rolling. But that's only if your Quickstep was perfect. Sometimes it isn't that precise and you will need small movements after the Quickstep to get into the right position just to get the backstab. In order to backstab, you need to use the sidestep versions on a locked-on target. The closer you are, the more you will circle around, but getting closer isn't always the better because sometimes you will go too far back. It depends on how much your opponents move during the attack. Chapter 4: How to build around it. Despite being the default skill for most daggers, claws and hatchets, all fast and nimble weapons, it isn't that good on them. Generally smaller weapons need, in my opinion, a big impact à-chaud-froid with heavy poise damage, so Quickstep isn't ideal for them. Even if you are focusing on a critical, a dagger wouldn't be the best choice, because the dagger, although it does high backstab damage, it doesn't really have a good option when the enemy stands up from the ground after the backstab. And in PvE, it's important to catch enemies waking up with a really strong attack. That's why heavy weapons work well, because they do similar critical damage but can also follow up the critical with a fully charged R2 for a lot more total damage. The Zweihander is, in my opinion, the best weapon to put Quickstep because it has good damage, heavy attacks slow enough to catch enemies after a backstab, and a versatile moveset with a good out-of Quickstep attack. Heavy load builds are now pretty viable with Quickstep since it's not affected by overburdening your character. Using Quickstep plus Argon Jar aromatics turn you into an agile tank. This is a very fun combination you should try. In PvP, the à-chaud-froid has been nerfed and requires precise timing. Keep that in mind. Lastly, there are also ways to do a reverse Quickstep to style on opponents. There's a tutorial linked below. Auxiliary chapter: a comparison with bloodhound step. No, Quickstep isn't just a bloodhound step downgrade. Most things said in the first chapter applies to bloodhound step. It also has longer travel distance and very slightly more invincibility time. That being said, it costs more than twice the FP and doesn't have the curving around your target. I can't really say that one is better than the other since it depends on your build, playstyle, as well as the situation. Conclusion. In summary, Quickstep is an underrated and skillful à-chaud-froid that can change the gameplay and renew the way you play ELDEN RING. The Extra Life wiki page holds the detailed data if you are interested. That's it for this video. Thanks for listening, and I would like to thank Strugglerva for his interesting video on Quickstep. The links is in the description.